Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, Executive Editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Dave's Faves. And today I'm going to talk to you not about a specific work, but about an album with two specific works on it. And it's this one, Sibelius, Symphonies 1 and 5. Oh, this is such a great record. Number 1 is with Ormandy in Philadelphia, and number 2 is with Bernstein and the New York Philharmonic, and they are on Sony, coupled together on the Sony Essential Classics disc, which you can still find buzzing around like used and whatnot. It may even still be in print, who knows? Obviously, both of these works are available separately. Well, at least the Ormandy will hopefully be available in the stereo Ormandy box if it ever comes, and it's also available in his Sibelius box on RCA/Sony. The Bernstein is available in the Bernstein Sibelius box or other big Bernstein collections. They're both around. And oh my goodness, they're both superb performances and very different and totally wonderful in the way that they approach the music. First of all, let's start with Sibelius Symphony Number 1. Now, I love Symphony Number 1. It is the most Tchaikovskyan of all the Sibelius symphonies. Now, you can play it not like Tchaikovsky. You can do it in a more lean and sort of forward-looking way. Ormandy is not having it. This is beyond Tchaikovsky, the way he does it. In fact, he diddles the orchestration. He adds harp parts where Sibelius didn't have the harp and really likes the daylights out of it. Oh, it's so much fun. The end of the end of the symphony is just a couple of pizzicato chords, blank, blank, very laconic. And, Ormandy has the harp there to go whumph, whumph. And then in the finale, oh my God, the big tune in the finale, it is the most voluptuous thing you've ever heard in your life. It's unbelievable. And you can hear that harp. I think there must be 5 of them. They're going, while the violins are just exploding with passion. Oh my God. It's to die for. And what makes it so wonderful is that he does all this in tempo. This is not a slow, self-indulgent, languorous, lazy, schmoozy, yucky, gloppy performance at all. It just isn't. It's lithe and nimble, and it's right up to speed, and everybody else is going like gangbusters, but oh my God, those strings are something special. Unbelievable. So it is absolutely one of my favorite performances of the Sibelius First, and it's like no other. No other because of the little orchestral reorchestration touches that Ormandy does, and no other because of just the sheer sensuality of the whole thing. There's nothing like it. And his remake on RCA was not as good, and not as rich, and not as sexy as this one. So now let's talk about the Fifth a little bit. Bernstein recorded the Fifth a couple of times as well. His second performance was with the Vienna Philharmonic. It is lousy. It is slow and heavy and late Bernstein in his bad phase, as far as I'm concerned. Most of his Sibelius is pretty bad, actually. In that late version, he never finished the cycle, which I think is a good thing, because it wasn't going in a happy direction. It just was not. But this one, this Fifth, this is one of those performances that is so keenly observed. He is one of the few composers who takes Sibelius at his word at the end of the first movement, for example, where it's supposed to be going prestissimo. It's like flying, and he makes them do it. He makes them do it even to the point where the ensemble isn't necessarily always perfect, but this is one of those cases where the expression has to trump the technical perfection of the result, because it's just beyond exciting. And there are very, very few conductors who've had the guts, the chutzpah, to actually take Sibelius literally and do what he wants to do. So it's really, Bernstein is supposed to be one of those, emotional, all over the place guys. The funny thing about this coupling, and what it really shows you, is that the more emotionally indulgent of them is Ormandy, who is really socking it to the lyrical themes, whereas Bernstein is absolutely literal, but he's literal in a way that produces an unprecedented amount of excitement as the performance goes on. And I mean, this is early Bernstein. The sonics are not so fabulous in the fifth. They're better in the first with Ormandy. You also get the Romance in C for strings with the Cleveland Sinfonietta under Louis Lane as another little bonus. So there's a lot of music on here. And if you can find this coupling, it's really worth hearing. Or if you can find them separately and get them, stream them. It's wonderful as a comparison between the two conductors, between the one who you don't think is supposed to be the literalist, who really is the literalist, and the one who you think is supposed to be somewhat unexciting and interesting is actually really out there and, almost Stokowskian out there. It's just phenomenal. It's a real antidote to received opinion if you're a serious listener, if you listen carefully and honestly and openly to what you're really hearing and what the guys are really doing. And both performances are among the best available in any case. So it has all of that going for it, It's a real object, and I adore it. And it's one of the linchpins of my collection. And I think you will love it equally. I really do. It's a fascinating comparison of stupendous performances of two great symphonies. You can't ask for more than that, can you? So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.